Hi everyone, it's Rich Hagon here, ready to tell you precisely who's going to win the World Magic Cup this year. Who can win it? Well, theoretically anyone, but in reality, not so much. So here's your cutout and don't keep audio guide to the 71 teams of the 2013 World Magic Cup. Argentina. For Argentina, Andres Monsalve has 2 Grand Prix top 8s and the team has a couple of top 8 finishes. They're still likely to struggle here. Australia. Justin Chung is super impressive and there's a lot of good numbers across the board. Twice runners-up, you've got to treat them as live contenders once again. Austria. 2 huge talents in Reitbauer and Holzinger with 7 team appearances between them. 17-year-old Manuel Danninger could be the difference maker. Now if he's solid, they could go the distance. Belarus. Back for a second crack at team play, improving on last year's 41st would be a decent result. Belgium. A tremendous team in 2012 underperformed, and 2 of those, Leibert and Lemoine, are back. On paper, worse than last year's super team. Can they do better? Bolivia. Alejandro Van Murik is on his 4th national team, and they'll be looking to make the top 32 as they did last year in Indianapolis. Brazil. Willie Adel is one of the hottest pros around, and Alison Abe has decent numbers. They'll need help, but top 8 isn't out of the question. Bulgaria. They've yet to reach a top 32, so pool play would be a triumph for an inexperienced group. Canada. Now Canada has some terrific players right now, but the national champion John Stern is missing some key personnel this time. I honestly can't see it. Chile. Rookie of the Year and national champion Felipe Tapia Becerra has already shown that anything is possible. Not likely, but possible. China. Led by 2009 Team World Champion Bo Li, prospects of repeat are, to be honest, unlikely. Chinese Taipei. The feel-good winners of 2012. Not the total shock many supposed, this will be their 3rd straight top 8, though surely Su Qinghuo can't dominate everyone he plays again. Can he? Colombia. Yet to make a team top 8, they came closest when 10th in Memphis 2008. Hard to see that kind of performance this time. Costa Rica. Not their first rodeo by any means, they could make it to day 2. Croatia. So good were they last year that their quarter-final exit came as a bit of a shock. Old stagers Goga Petric Maritic and Tony Portolan are back for another assault on the title. Cyprus. A fledgling community, a 17-year-old champion and a ton of goodwill go with this country of barely 1 million citizens. They only debuted last year, so the first step is to improve on 61st. They may. Czech Republic. By no means a vintage group, only Pro Tour Return to Ravnica champion Stanislav Sivka has pro points. He needs a lot of help for the Czechs to cash this time around. Denmark. A coming force on the European scene, highlighted by Grand Prix champs Thomas Enevoldsen and Lasse Norgard. I expect them to be in contention for a long time. Dominican Republic. 25th last year was their best team performance, and pool play would again be a significant achievement. Ecuador. 63rd on full team debut in Indianapolis last year, and getting out of day 1 could be very tough. El Salvador. 37th last year in their team debut, but getting into day 2 doesn't look to have got any easier 12 months on. England. Agonisingly beaten out of day 2 in 33rd last year, Carrie Oliver returns with a solid lineup including Pro Tour Return to Ravnica top 8 man, national champ Saj Gallic. Top 16 is my over-under. Estonia. Led by Memphis World's top 8er Hannes Karem, made the 2nd phase of pool play last year and could make a splash again in Amsterdam. Finland. Both Sjöblom and Hegvist were on the team finishing 9th last year. Now that's still a long way off 8th, but it is a bridgeable gap. France. Any team with Raf Levy in it demands respect, but Soubré and Simoneau are both talented too. If Guthmann turns out to be anything more than a passenger, top 8 action is on the cards. Germany. 4 Grand Prix top 8s for Kussler in a young career. This guy is the real deal. Traditionally they're a powerhouse, but this team overall may struggle to deliver. Greece. It's hard to see them cresting a wave come Sunday, but the national champ Simon Bertiu is on his 3rd team in 4 years and is a fine deck builder and leader of men. Guatemala. Someone unexpected does brilliantly every year. This year, it still probably won't be Guatemala. Hong Kong. Li Shichan is world class, but that alone doesn't make a team. Most likely a day one exit. Hungary. No surprise to see their run to the semis last year. I expect them to be live well into pool play again. Iceland. It's a long time since their top 16 finish at Worlds 2001, and little to suggest success is on the way this weekend. Indonesia. Day 2's the promised land for many nations, and with the best ever of 26th, Indonesia falls squarely in that category. Ireland. Regularly making up the numbers, reasons for optimism include Marcin Sosinski, who's a very solid EuroGP regular, and the certainty that they'll enjoy the experience regardless. Israel. Move over Yuri Peleg, there's a new sheriff in town, and it's Sheriff Shahar Shenhar, and yes, I practiced that. A standout champion, terrific support from the likes of Olpena and Shmuley. I can see them going all the way, but can Niv mise it? Italy. Two big stars in Samuel Estrati and double Grand Prix champion Emanuele Giusti. Only one team top 8 back in 2002, but that could change this year. Those two are very good. Japan. Last year, Japan lost the event before they got there, with hair-raising travel arrangements gone hideously wrong. Any team with the wondrous Yuya Watanabe in it has to be respected, but I suspect this may not be Japan's year. Latvia. National champion Andre Prost will be hoping to lead his team as far as day 2. That will not be an easy task, even with 2 Pro Tour top 8s behind him. Lithuania. A tremendous leader in Pro Tour Avicen restored finalist Gaudenis Vidigiris, but making the cut to day 2 may well be beyond them. Luxembourg. The smallest country competing, and even a run towards day 2 would be a commendable achievement. Macedonia. All 4 players are in their 30s and have been around the MTG block, but that experience doesn't suggest pool play is in their near future. Malaysia. Historically a pretty successful team, and another day 2 appearance seems about right for this group. Mexico. Top 8 at Worlds in 2010, that seems a long way off this week, and frankly, so does day 2. The Netherlands. The 2006 Team World Champions boasted an individual World Champion, a Hall of Famer, and a national champion with multiple Grand Prix top 8s. This team has none of those, just expectations accordingly. New Zealand. Already bullish about their Antipodean neighbours, I honestly expect big things from New Zealand. They'll need some help, who doesn't? But I can see them in the top 8 come Sunday. Northern Ireland. They only debuted in 2012, so beating their initial 65th effort should be well within reach. Norway. So close to claiming it all in 2011, Norway look to have their work cut out for them, although Nordahl is very good. Panama. Saul Alvarado represents his country at Magic for a 7th time. 7th! That's bonkers! He'll need all his experience if they're to make day 2. Peru. 4 players make their team debut, and most likely they'll be watching on day 2. Philippines. These 4 have more than 9,000 sanctioned matches between them. They'd settle for winning 5 on day 1, buying them a chance of emulating their best ever finish of 7th, which came last year. Poland. A brilliant tilt at the title last time, finishing 3rd, and Tomek Pedrakowski's a potential global star. I still don't see them quite matching the dizzy heights of 2012, however. Portugal. Although they faded down the stretch last year, I can still see the Rodrigo Borba-led team making it to pool play. Puerto Rico. 2nd place last time was a gargantuan effort in Indianapolis. I can't really believe I'm saying this because logically Lightning will not strike twice, but I can see them in the mix once more. Romania. Making the top 32 last year was a high watermark, and matching it will be very, very difficult. Russian Federation. Masaladziu made top 8 on his GP debut last year. All 4 team members are first-timers. What price them making Sunday? Can't honestly see it. Scotland. I said last year the team was virtually hand-picked, but it's possible this group is even better than the 2012 version that made the top 8. Expect many shots of kilts and many rounds of Scotland beating people. Top 16 is the least they can hope for. Serbia. On his 6th team, Alexa Telerov has an uphill task to lead his team to day 2. Singapore. Without any obvious megastars, this is still a strong squad. They might turn out to be nothing, they could just be this year's Chinese Taipei. But which? Which? Slovak Republic. Pre-tournament favourites last year, the quarter-finals then felt like a disappointment. This time there's less optimism around, and top 8 would be significant overperformance on the numbers, despite former team world champion Ivan Flock at the helm. Slovenia. A terrific performance last year, making it to the second phase of pool play. That 15th was a best ever team finish. They don't happen very often. Tough times ahead. South Africa. All 4 members are on debut, and without an experienced anchor, it's hard to see them progressing to day 2. South Korea. I'm not saying they're going to win it, but I do have a sneaking suspicion that we'll see them on day 2. Spain. It's 15 years since their only team top 8. With Joel Calafell alongside national champion Juan Carlos Adama Diaz, I can see them coming close to Sunday action. Sweden. Oh yes, on paper, the hands-down favourites, and I am not going against them here. A Magic Hall of Famer in Olle Rad, a Pro Tour finalist in Joe Larson, a talented young pro in Elias Watsfeld. I cannot envisage a top 8 without them. Oh okay, I cannot envisage the final without them. No pressure then, boys. Switzerland. The 2007 Team World Champions were very, very good, and I don't think this squad measures up. Still, they do have a good shot at day 2. Thailand. The commentator's nightmare, Seslip Champlain, Siddishat Wirichika Fan, Nut Denai Sadengrit and Perch Song Kwamcharan better not make it to Sunday, or it could be a very long day in the booth. Chances are they won't, but actually I'd love to see it. Turkey. An experienced bunch, they were tailed off quickly last year, and I expect a lot more this time around, even if day 2 is still a bit past them. Ukraine. Understandably, there are no globally known stars on the team, but I expect them to at least match their top 16 finish of last year. United States. Show me someone who thinks the US will win this year, and you'll be showing me Josh Utter-Layton's mom. Everyone else knows this is a Herculean task for the reigning player of the year. Now, I'm sure the team will acquit themselves just fine, but I don't think this is a winning year for the most successful nation on earth. Uruguay. The best dressed and most popular team last year, neutrals roared them on to a top 16 finish. I'm not sure these 4 first-timers can quite match that. Venezuela. Top 32 is the likely limit of their expectations, and hopes is probably a better word for it. Wales. On their return to team play last year, 55th place was well down the field. It's likely to be a difficult day 1 once again. So, there's the 71 nations. Who's going to be playing on Sunday? My top 8 is Italy, New Zealand, Scotland, Croatia, France, Austria, Israel and Sweden. And the winner? Well, Israel, beating the Swedes in the final. So now you know. All you have to do is go and watch it. I'm your host, Richard Hagon, saying bye.